Hello, welcome to your morning yoga sequence. So come sit down on the mat with your legs crossed, spine nice and tall, shoulders on the back, slight tuck in the chin, placing the hands together on the knees or together in the lap, and closing the eyes. And we'll bring our awareness inwards to our breath. And we're just going to take a short moment here to just connect with the mind, body, and the breath. Bringing ourselves into the present moment, preparing our bodies for some yoga. Just observing the natural rhythm of your breath here. And if any thoughts come through to the mind, just take a nice deep breath in and exhale all the thoughts away, completely emptying the mind, and bring in your awareness back to your natural breath. Making sure we're not gripping in the legs or leaning forwards. We're sat nice and relaxed. Just a couple more breaths here. Then we can bring the hands together in prayer in front of the chest and bow the head down, opening the eyes and lifting the head. So we'll begin by finding our way to standing up on our mats. And we're going to bring ourselves to the top of our mats. I'm just going to turn around to show you. We want our feet together, knees pulling up, quads are engaged, tucking the tailbone down, pulling the belly in, opening up the shoulders, pulling them down on the back, and a slight tuck in the chin. Placing the arms down by the sides. And then we're going to inhale, take the arms out and up, look up. Then exhaling, we're going to fold it forwards, bring the belly to thighs. We can have a generous bend in those knees. Bringing the hands down, framing the feet. We can let the head hang. Then inhaling, we're going to lengthen through the legs, nice flat back coming up onto the fingertips. We can bring the hands to the shins or even the thighs to create a nice flat back. Exhaling, folding it forwards again. Then we'll take a breath in and step it back into our plank pose. Then exhaling, gently bring the knees down to the mat, then bring the chest and chin down to the mat, untucking the toes. Inhaling, sliding the body forward and lifting the chest and chin up to upward facing dog. Then exhale, pressing it back to our downward facing dog. And you can paddle the feet here, take your dog for a walk. Or you can find stillness and have a generous bend in those knees so we've got a nice straight spine. And we can deepen the stretch in our back. Moving the body in whichever way feels good for you here. Then inhaling, looking between the hands. We can walk, step or jump the feet in between, coming into our half lift. And then we can exhale, fold it forwards. And then inhale with a nice flat back, we're going to come all the way back up to standing, arms overhead. Exhaling, bringing the hands down in prayer in front of the chest. We'll do that again, but we'll do it a little bit quicker this time, creating some heat in the body. So exhale, take the arms down by the sides. Inhale, take the arms out and up, look up. Exhaling, folding it forwards, bringing the belly to thighs, hands down on the mat. Inhale for our half lift, nice flat back, hands on the shins, thighs or fingertips. Then exhaling, folding it forwards and stepping it back into plank. Inhale, exhale, we can lower ourselves down through our chaturanga or knees, chest and chin. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, tucking the toes under and taking it back to our downward facing dog. And again, we'll stay here for 5 breaths, so you can stretch it out or you can find stillness. Making sure we're not locking in those elbows. We've got a nice micro bend in those elbows. Then inhaling, look between the hands. Again, we walk, step or jump the feet in between, coming into our half lift. Exhaling, folding it forwards. And then inhaling with a nice flat back, we'll come all the way back up to standing at the top of our mats. Exhaling, hands coming for air in front of the chest. And then from here we'll move into the main part of our sequence, so we can have our feet together here, or if we have some trouble in the knees we can take the feet hip width apart. But I'm going to inhale, windmill the arms up and take the hips back, coming into our chair pose. Keep the belly and ribs pulling in. And then we're going to exhale, release the arms down, folding it forwards and taking the arms back behind us. Inhale, coming back up into chair. Exhaling, swing it back. Inhale, coming back up, just creating some energy here. Exhale, sweeping the arms back. Inhaling, coming back up to our chair position, holding for a couple breaths. Then exhale, we can come back up to our standing position. We can then, if our feet are together, we can shimmy them hip width apart. And then we're going to bring ourselves into a forward fold. So we can bring our hands to the hips, inhale, exhale, folding it forwards, bringing the belly to thighs. Again, we can have a very generous bend in the knees. We can let the arms hang, let the head hang. And you can hold on to the elbows if that feels good and sway side to side, maybe shaking the head yes and no, just to loosen up the neck and create some space. Or you can find stillness in this pose. Again, finding what works for you in this forward fold position. Then we can place the hands back down on the mat, take a breath in. Exhale, we'll step it back into our downward facing dog pose. And again, we can stretch out those legs, paddle the feet, take your dog for a walk. Or again, perhaps you prefer to find stillness in this pose. Whatever works for you here. Then exhale, we'll bring the knees down onto the mat, untucking those toes. And just checking that we've got our hips in line with the knees and the shoulders are in line with the wrists. Our belly and ribs are pulling in, our core's nice and engaged, and we're going to move through some cat-cows. So inhaling from the sacrum, draw the belly down, lift the chest and chin up. Exhaling, rounding the spine, bringing the chin to the chest. Inhaling, lifting the chest and chin. Exhaling, rounding the spine. Inhaling, lifting the chest and chin. Exhaling, rounding the spine, really pressing the mat away from you to stretch out the shoulders. Inhale, lifting the chest and chin. Exhale, round. Inhaling, lift. And then we can exhale, come back to our neutral position. We can then walk the hands back so that we come to sit up on the heels. We can then take the hips to one side and swing those legs round with grace, or however we can bring those legs in front of us. We'll then bend the right knee and take that foot over the left, and maybe this is where we stay. Otherwise we can hook that left foot round to the right hip, so that we're in our Lord of the Fishes pose. And then we can hug the right knee in towards the chest, take the left hand behind you, coming up onto the fingertips, and look behind. Otherwise you can bring the elbow to the outside of that knee, and you can extend the hand down to hold on to the foot. Again, finding what works for you in this pose. Find what feels good. And remember to breathe. Keep the belly pulling in. The chest is nice and open. And we're sitting nice and tall. Exhale, we'll come back to center. And then we can unbind our legs, extending them back out. Then we can bend the left leg and take it over the right knee, and we'll do the same on the other side. So if you had one leg extended on the other side, we'll stay the same so it's nice and balanced. Otherwise we can hook that leg round to the hip, hooking onto the left knee, or we can bring the elbow to the outside, or even reaching down for that foot. Again, spine nice and tall. And we're breathing into our spine, imagining space between each vertebrae. Feeling the nice, gentle release. And then exhaling, we can come back to center, and then we can help unbind our legs. And then we can just bring ourselves back into our cross-legged position for our closing meditation. So spine nice and tall, shoulders are on the back, slight tuck in the chin, placing the hands on the knees or together in the lap, and closing our eyes. Relaxing the face, relaxing the shoulders down. We're not gripping in the legs. Allowing the body to relax and bringing our awareness back to our breath. Again, we're just staying and being present with our natural rhythm. We're not forcing or trying to make our breath move in a certain way. We just want to be present with the here and now. Take a moment to thank yourself and your body for practicing yoga today. And maybe compliment yourself quietly, affirm something positive about yourself. Maybe today you say you are strong, you are confident, you are happy. And then we can bring ourselves back to our natural rhythm, releasing our gratefulness out into the universe. Then we can bring the hands together in prayer in front of the chest and bow the head down. And then gently batting the eyelids open and lifting the head. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. Namaste. I'll see you again in the next video. Have a great